Gonna go far, man, listen to my words. Gonna be a star, man, life's like a blur. When you're working this hard, yeah, you get what you deserve. Yeah, I ain't taking a backseat, I'm passing anybody else who is rapping. I'm nasty, ain't nobody able to catch me. They gasping, they cannot compare, they can't match me. I'm at half speed, I got your girl and she laughing and dancing, hanging on my butt, she asking to crash with me, smash with me. She savage, she wants cash money, and she knows that I live lavishly. I wanna live, I'm cold inside, give all I have just to feel alive. I fight to live, I fight to strive. One day I'll have what I want. I want the whole world in the palm of my hand. I got a plan, I'm the man. Now I'm teaching the game, a veteran, better than anybody else who tests me. I'm ready, looking in my hand and it's steady. I'm trending, ascending and blending, lyrical bending. Now I'm spreading and getting my name out now. Yeah, they hearing me laugh, all the crowds repping the sound. I'm hitting the ground, running, up and coming, ain't nothing. Yeah, rookie of the year, I'ma keep it 100. Cold-blooded, no budget, from nothing to something. I ain't bluffing, I got a full hand and a full plan. I ain't gonna stop till I'm at the top, man. Every single drop got me feeling awesome. I'm about to pop, started from the bottom, yeah. I wanna live, I'm cold inside, give all I have just to feel alive. I fight to live, I fight to strive. One day I'll have what I want in life.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing.
To notice that I'm in motion, there is no potion, you're not just chosen. It takes devotion to stay composed, man. Never stop, there ain't no time to fall. Try to live, get it all, you got one life to pop. Thinking big, never small, cause you gotta want it all. When you finally get that call, you get ready, take it on. Need a handout, I already stand out. Starting to advance now, ready to expand now. You don't have a chance now, cause we're in demand now. Make it by the grand now, feeling in command now. They're looking right at me to see if I succeed, to see if I...
Welcome in, everybody, here to the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, live here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel's TikTok platform. We're bringing you the Madness Racing League track fact of the night. Live here tonight from the Gateway Racing Center in Illinois. Ladies and gentlemen, the Oval opened in May of 1997 in Madison, Illinois. Formerly known as only a road course, a 1.25 mile different size, almost similar to a Darlington, but just not as bad on the tire wear. 57,000 sold out asses here tonight to take on the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series. Live here, getting ready to set the field for the playoffs. We'll kick it down here to the main broadcast as these guys are dialing in these race cars. Ladies and gentlemen, will your favorite driver make the playoffs here? Ladies and gentlemen, I'll walk you through it all night. We're moments away from the qualifying session. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in here to the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, this is the Madness Racing League Season 2 scheduled regular season finale for 120 laps here tonight at the Worldwide Gateway Raceway Technology Center in Illinois. We'll tackle on the 120 laps, and then we'll crown our playoff drivers. We're going super speedway racing in 2 weeks from now at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure you're there to check it out by pressing that like button. Pressing that follow button. Make sure you check over here in the top right of your screen. Head on over to the Booty Scoot Racing YouTube page. Get yourself subscribed over there, ladies and gentlemen. The clock is ticking down here for the qualifying session for the practice. We're getting ready to kick off the qualifying session is what I meant to say here. John Michael Bryant comes by there through your screen. Ladies and gentlemen, the Madness Racing League has tackled on 5 races so far up to this year. 5 different winners as well, ladies and gentlemen. This will be race number 6, scheduled of the 10 for the full season. Then we'll get ready to head over to the playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in here tonight on this beautiful Saturday night. Beautiful day for racing here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. See, we can't bring up the weather report here tonight for Season 2, race number 6 at the Worldwide Technology Raceway Center. 69 degrees out here tonight. A pretty good day to go racing here. 4-mile-an-hour wind gusts here, partly cloudy. 3% chance of rain here. Get rid of that for just a second, ladies and gentlemen. Again, if you're just now tuning in for us here tonight, we will kick it on down here for tonight's national anthem. Here we ask you guys to please rise and stand as you're able to before we kick off tonight's qualifying session. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for rising and standing as you're able to. We know some people's knees just can't do it these days. Kick it back down here to the main broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. Freddie the Flagman has waved the checker flag in the air for the drivers to get ready to tell their asses to get back to pit road. It's time to go qualifying here for the Madness Racing League regular season finale. Can we score ourselves a new winner here tonight to lock themselves into the playoffs? 10 drivers will go to the playoffs. 6 races in the regular season. You win a race, you're automatically in. So right now, 5 different winners. 5 guys will advance on points unless we can get a new one here tonight. Who's going to be lucky contestant number 1 here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the qualifying session? Looks like it will be the lucky number 85 of Alfonso Claudio, the Season 1 champion, driving the Mike and Ike's number 85 Toyota Supra from KA, Puerto Rico. The U.S. Navy veteran down the back straightaway here, ripping through the gears. Looking to get this Mike and Ike's Toyota Supra dialed in here. We got Billy the Blimp driver above the racetrack all night long, giving you some action-packed shots here of all the battles around the racetrack. Alfonso Claudio heading off of turns 3 and 4 here. Coming up to speed here is he is on the clock for the qualifying session here for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series regular season finale. Mike and Ike here, sponsoring the number 85, Alfonso. He's a bit loose there through the corner, but he's able to hold on to that race car. Alfonso Claudio picked up a couple wins last year to make the championship 4, and he'll find himself in the championship, as we got cameras underneath the racetrack here. Alfonso Claudio through turns 3 and 4 here. 2 totally different, unique style corners here. Is 3 and 4 is way longer and wider than turns 1 and 2. Really got to get down on the brakes. It's the number 85, Mike and Ike's machine of Alfonso Claudio, currently P1 on the board here. And Corey Tesner, it looks like going to be Kyle Fountain rising up there right behind him. 1 lap is in the books for Alfonso Claudio. We'll switch over to another person. Show some TV time to the Clemson, South Carolina guy. That's cousin Big Country Kyle Fountain down the back straightaway here. The number 59, Tyler's Pub of the Beer. Jim Fountain racing entry here for the Madness Racing League. Filling in the field here tonight, not full time, as he goes his way through turns 3 and 4. Off of turns 3 and 4, Kyle Fountain trying to put the gas down here. Already currently on the board, registered in the 7th place spot. Will he get any faster this time around? Kyle Fountain will not jump up there anymore here. We'll switch over to the number 01 of Everett Larson, driving the number 01 Stacking Pennies podcast, Food City 01 Ford Mustang, as he's heading down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Travis Pastrana invited Everett Larson on out to his facility in Maryland, and Travis Pastrana and Everett Larson was able to rip the Can-Am. Everett Larson off of turns 3 and 4 to the Geico restart zone. Where will he post? P2 on the board for the number 01 of Everett Larson. We'll switch over here to the 48 Rock and Roll Racing Chevy Camaro large car, Nick Crawford from Buchanan, West Virginia. As it looks like he is down the back straightaway here. Looks like he thought he might have been out of a little bit of a power or some speed there. But the Queso's number 48 Chevy Camaro sailing into turns 3 and 4 here. Is he trying to find a better angle here on the camera? Excuse me. Nick Crawford through turns 3 and 4 here for the final time. Big Loose off the corner, but he's able to hold on to it. Cutting through the Geico restart zone. Waverly Post. P9 for Nick Crawford currently at the moment. Looks like Holden Wheeler in the number 79. Chase Johnson racing chartered entry, driving the James River Equipment 79 here tonight from Mooresville, North Carolina. He'll make the trip out here to Illinois off of turns 3 and 4. Holden Wheeler trying to come across the line, hold on to every second possible. Where will he post? Currently 9th fastest right now on the board. Looks like Jonathan Smith here from Goldsboro, North Carolina, driving the Engine 4 Coffee. Number 13 entry here tonight. We're going to check out the Nap Daddy Racing in the top right of your screen. You see it up there beside the Xfinity logo. Big Loose through the corner for Jonathan Smith here as he works his way down through turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway here for the final time tonight. See if I can't fix some of the numbers on the thing. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Down the back straightaway, Jonathan Smith goes here. Chase Johnson currently the fastest on the board. Nicholas Maynard second fastest. And then Everett Larson, third fastest on the board here as Jonathan Smith works his way across the line here, across the front stretch. Where will he post here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel? We'll stay right there in the 5th place spot. Switch over here to the 23 machine of John Michael Bryant from Greer, South Carolina. Your mom's favorite driver. Driving the J-Money 6 Toyota Super. Big Loose off the corner. He'll get loose and go around. Pow! Hard in the inside wall here in the qualifying session for John Michael Bryant. Jonathan Smith, though, taking another lap around here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. He's down in turns 3 and 4 here. Did he have another lap underneath him right here to see where he can make any improvements? He'll come off of turns 3 and 4. Still only P5 on the board for Jonathan Smith here. So that looks like that's going to be everybody here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the qualifying session here. We'll pull up the final results. Looks like Showtime Chase Johnson is going to take home the pole here tonight, and Everett Larson will outscrape Nicholas Maynard there by a thousandth of a second, damn near. And Nicholas Maynard will take home the 3rd place spot. James Fountain will get the 4th place spot, and Jonathan Smith will get the 5th place spot. That'll round out the top 5 there. The rest of them in front of you. No time posted there for for Blake Koschchild, Sean Williams, and the rest of them here. We'll throw it on down here to the main broadcast. We'll bring up a little bit of music here as we get ready to kick off tonight's drivers' introductions here. These guys are filling in the field here. We're set for 15 cars to take on the Gateway International Raceway Technology Center here in Illinois for the season finale. We're going to call it Gateway all night long here, not to confuse any of you fans. There they are. These beautiful race cars are glowing underneath the lights here tonight in Illinois. Starting off the drivers' introductions tonight, starting on the pole, driving the number 5 Flow Racing Chevy Silverado. That's the number 5 team owner from Greer, South Carolina, Chase Johnson. Everett Larson in the number 01 Stacking Pennies podcast, Food City Ford Mustang, starting in the 2nd place spot here tonight. Driving the Lucas Oil 02 Ford Mustang from Welford, South Carolina, that's the kid of Nicholas Maynard. James Fountain from Greenville, South Carolina, driving the Chase Johnson Racing chartered entry, the Chevy number 24. We'll start here tonight in the 4th place spot in the 2nd row. Jonathan Smith from Goldsboro, North Carolina, driving the Engine 4 Coffee Chevy Camaro will start in the 5th place spot here in the 3rd row tonight. And on the outside of him will be the number 8 McAbee Auto Services LLC Chevy Camaro, the other Chase Johnson Racing chartered entry. That's 3 of 4. That's Corey Tesner. Kyle Fountain will round out the 8th place spot here tonight, driving the number 59 Jim Fountain Racing. Filling the field in here tonight. He'll post a hell of a qualifying time. He'll find himself up here in the top 10 spot here tonight. And on the inside of him will be the number 85 Season 1 champion, driving the Mike and Ice number 85 Toyota Supra all the way from Puerto Rico. That's the U.S. Navy veteran of Alfonso Claudio. Nick Crawford starting in the 48 machine here tonight. The Quesos Chevy Camaro from Buchanan, West Virginia, looking to lock himself into the playoffs. Got to have a great run here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This is the cutoff regular season finale. The Mooresville, North Carolina driver, driving the number 79 Chase Johnson Racing chartered entry. The James River Equipment 79 of Holden Wheeler. Your mom's favorite driver, driving the number 23 J-Money Sense Toyota Supra on the outside from Greer, South Carolina. He's looking to charge his way through the field, driving the blue and red machine. That's going to be the Boogeyman. Down on the bottom side below him from Park Ridge, New Jersey, driving the number 99 closeout batch Chevy Camaro. That's going to be Jerry power. Sean Williams picked up the win in the Daytona season opener. He's locked into the playoffs from East Windsor, driving the number 25 Chevy Camaro. Starting in the 13th place spot tonight, that's going to be Sean Williams. On the inside of him, Blake Koschchild, currently locked in the playoffs on points. Just needs a solid day here tonight. The Tempe, Arizona driver, driving the number 2 Peyton Haas Toyota Supra, the 25-year-old Blake Koschchild. Trent Hughes from Troy, Alabama, driving the Bass Pro Shops number 18, 81X Nitro Bass Pro Shops Ford Mustang. Will start the tail end of the field here tonight. Looking to make something shake here as he's back on track here to make something shake here. He's been working on that equipment here. Trent Hughes having a tough season so far, but just trying to hold it on here, ladies and gentlemen. Tons of guys needing some big days here today, and some guys already locked in, just looking to make something shake here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not already on the edge of your seat, what the hell are you doing? Go ahead and stand up, smash that like button, press that follow button. We're getting ready to go racing here tonight in the St. Louie 120, live from the Worldwide Gateway Technology Center in Madison, Illinois. Here we'll kill the music. Showtime Chase Johnson's got everybody right behind him. Peter the pace car will hang the left on the pit road. It'll be Everett Larson on the outside. Nicholas Maynard in the 3rd place spot, followed by James Fountain. That'll be the front row here. And we are boogity, 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 boogity. Let's go racing, boys, here on the Madness Racing League. Ladies and gentlemen, James Fountain here making it look something shake from that second outside row. He'll get across the Nicholas Maynard machine quick and early. Big loose off the corner, though. Have to hold on to it, though. And that'll open up the door for the number 8 of Corey Riptide Tesner, ripping through the gears here. Everybody's able to hold it down the back straightaway. The number 13 of Jonathan Smith got everybody else in front of him. Here's Nicholas Maynard. He's moved up to the 3rd place spot where he started, though, but it's going to be Everett Larson. Showtime Chase Johnson selling away here for the rest of the pack for the first lap. Turns 3 and 4. Meanwhile, Corey Tester's opened up the door below the bottom side of the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard. They'll drag race across the line, but trying to get the 3rd place spot to Corey Tesner here. Down into turns 3 and 4 here. Everybody's looking like they're shaking out here through the field. Riding on board with the number 85 of Alfonso Claudio through turns 1 and 2. Big trouble up here throughout the corner. Caution flag already out here for Kyle Fountain. He's already back here on the backside of the racetrack here. Big damage to the number 59 machine already from Clemson, South Carolina. Kyle Fountain will get that race car refired here. We're strolling down the back straightaway here. We are underneath the caution flag for the first time here tonight for the number 59 of Kyle Fountain. See if we can't back that ass up here for an instant replay. Cousin Big Country takes a, looks like a hard shot into the outside wall here. Not sure exactly what happened to the number 59 Jim Fountain Racing chartered entry. We'll take a look here as we back that ass up here off of turns 1 and 2. It's where the mayhem ensued on just lap number 3. As we back it up, Kyle Fountain was parked up there for a good bit there. Looks like he was a little loose throughout the corner. See if we can't ride on board with Jonathan Smith here. Look out the front nose and see what happened to Kyle Fountain. Going through turns 1 and 2. This looks like the car steps out on Kyle Fountain here. Kyle Fountain, nothing he can do with a big shot into the outside wall there. He was able to get that thing refired here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll work the caution flag for the first time here tonight. We'll throw up the commercial break. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere.
Had a couple boyfriends. I heard they didn't treat you right. I heard you had your girlfriends. 'Cause all the guys want you tonight. Yeah, they say she's too hot. They say she's too cold. Where she came from, nobody really knows. They say she looks young, but say she acts old. From everything I've heard, she gets out of control. They say she was sent from the heavens, but I'm not too sure that this girl is a blessing. She's got devil's eyes and they'll cut you like a weapon. She's stuck in my mind like a bad obsession. Got bad intentions. She got a body like a coffin.
Bang, 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 bang. Welcome back here to the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Like what you're seeing here, this is the Madness Racing League, live from the Gateway International Raceway. We're working the first caution flag here tonight. If you want to join in here, make sure you go ahead and scan the code on your screen. It'll take you directly to the Discord link. These guys can go ahead and get you out in here, ladies and gentlemen. It's been one hell of a season here. Working season 2 for the Madness Racing League here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. The way that the league has just grown here, it's been absolutely tremendous here. Everybody else looks like they're working their way throughout the rest of the field behind Peter the pace car. So we'll do a little quick rundown here. This is the regular season cutoff here for the Madness Racing League. Chase Johnson a race winner this year, so he's already automatically locked into the playoffs. Everett Larson currently locked in on points right now. He is second locked in on points, so just a decent day for the number 01 Stack of Pennies podcast. Ford Mustang should do the trick for him tonight. Corey Riptide Tesner way below the cut line here, but if he could get out front here early, lead some laps, and have a great finish, he is most definitely within hand's reach of tonight's playoffs. Wherever you can pick up the victory, he'll automatically lock himself in there and make it tough for everybody else. Nicholas Maynard currently the fourth one locked in on points. Remember, guys, 5 different winners, 5 guys locked in on points, 10 to advance to the playoffs. Nicholas Maynard's really flirting around there on the bottom side of that cut line. James Fountain picked up the win at Chicagoland a couple weeks ago from Greenville, South Carolina. He's advanced to the playoffs. He will be racing for a championship. Jonathan Smith picked up the win in New Hampshire. He will be racing for a championship as well. Excuse me, I'll cut back on the main broadcast here, because you guys should have plenty of time to get loaded in here. Get yourself added into the Discord here. Jonathan Smith, though, he's locked in, loaded, ready for the playoffs. Jonathan Smith or John Michael Bryant. Too many Johns in the field. John Michael's looking to make 2 Johns into the playoffs. He's currently on the cut line. He is the last one in. Locked in right now on points, and behind him is the number 85 of Alfonso Claudio. From Season 1 champion to Season 2, looking for a way into the playoffs. He's currently the first out on points, and he's racing that number 23 machine of John Michael Bryant. It's going to be a tight battle all night long. The number 79 of Holden Wheeler had some troubles majority of the year in the Xfinity Season 2 here on the Booty Suit Racing channel. Just not what he was looking for this year. He's currently back on the playoff here, but he could pick up the win tonight. Holden Wheeler could definitely find himself in the playoff and turn that season around. Nick Large Car Crawford here currently the first 3 out on points here, so he definitely has a chance here tonight as these guys swirl down the back straightaway. Sean Williams picked up the win at Daytona to kick off the season, and his number 25 Chemical Guide Chevy Camaro from East Windsor, so he's another playoff guy that you can be finding yourself watching here in the next couple of weeks. Blake Hochschild currently locked in on points as well. Trent Hughes not locked in on points currently, but if he could pick up the victory here tonight, he could definitely find himself in the playoffs. And Kyle Fountain, part-timer here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the Madness Racing League, filling in the field, so he is not playoff eligible. Well, Peter the Pace Car will hang the left on the pit road. It'll be Chase Johnson in charge here with Everett Larson on the outside of him. Through the Geico, restarts on back. Green here in the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series. Live from the Gateway International Raceway Technology Raceway Center, whatever the hell you want to call it. We're in Missouri underneath the lights here tonight on a Saturday night. Nicholas Maynard works the outside of James Fallon here. Side by side off of turns 2, down the back straightaway. It's a drag race. Meanwhile, John Michael Bryant's looking to make a spot here in front of Jerry Powers, and he'll do just that here. We'll get out the tail end of John Michael Bryant here as they sail down into turns 3 and 4. Jerry Powers will roll right up to the back bumper of John Michael Bryant. CloseoutBats.com all over the race car for the number 99 machine, reminding you to go check out CloseoutBats.com. Go hit a home run today. Over 650,000 satisfied customers. Corey Tesner will cut the fastest lap on the racetrack that last time around. He will work the bottom side of the racetrack here, trying to make something shake. Corey Tesner will run a 33.66 here. The race leader will run a 34.25. So Chase Johnson here got some competition in here tonight here, but track position is what I was told from these drivers was looking to be the key here tonight as everybody else works their way throughout the field. Jerry Powers still trying to work the back bumper of the boogeyman of John Michael Bryant. Everybody else sails their way here at the Technology Raceway Center. Kenny Wallace was in command here tonight. He fired the engines off for the Madness Racing League. He lives just right on down the road from the Gateway International Raceway Technology Center. John Smith here, already picked up a win this season here. You right out the front bumper. He's behind the 02 of Nicholas Maynard. This battle right here starting to heat up here. These guys should roll their way back up here. Corey Tesner's joined the party for the race lead. And James Fountain has gotten around the traffic here. James Fountain currently still stuck in that third place spot, but Corey Tesner on the charge here. He's up 3 spots to where he started. And he's all over the ass end of Everett Larson here, trying to make a pass on the bottom side. Corey Tesner will put the bumper to the back of the number 01 Stack and Pennies podcast. Ford Mustang of Everett Larson, but Everett Larson's not fooled or phased by here. Down the back straightaway they come. Nicholas Maynard and Jonathan Smith tail in behind the rest of the front 4 guys here. Then Alfonso Claudio, the closeout bats machine of Jerry Powers. And then John Michael Bryant, Kyle Fountain here. Brought out the first caution flag here tonight. Some damage on the back end of that Chevy Camaro. But it looks like it's handling well because of the big country here. He's trying to just shake on out the field here tonight and pick off some laps. And filling his notebooks here, ladies and gentlemen, the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard here will cut the fastest lap on the racetrack that last time around. But Jerry Powers looks like he might get it this time around as he's closing the back door on the 02. This is the Booty Scoot Racing Channel's St. Louie 120 for the Madness Racing League live from the Gateway Raceway Technology Center in Illinois. Ladies and gentlemen, these guys are absolutely going at it here. One caution flag hit for 11 laps complete. You can't complain here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the regular season finale, so make sure you're staying to the end, the conclusion of tonight's race to figure out which 10 drivers will advance to the playoffs. We already know the 5 winners that have picked up wins this season will be advancing. Can somebody spoil the party here tonight and pick up another victory? Blake Hochschild will battle door to door here with Sean Williams down into turns 3 and 4. Ladies and gentlemen, we are glad you are tuned in here tonight. This is the first time we have ever raced here at the Gateway International Raceway Technology Center. Pretty much a really unique layout here. 2 unique, separate, different corners. Turns 3 and 4 way wider than turns 1 and 2 here, similar to Darlington. If you guys checked out the races here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, if not, head on over to the YouTube page for the conclusion where all the full races are posted there. Meanwhile, Everett Larson has ran down the race leader of Showtime, Chase Johnson. Chase Johnson trying to commit to the bottom side. Everett Larson just trying to commit to the gas here, but Everett Larson some full speed off of turns 3 and 4 here. They'll come across the front stretch here. Get the lap to Chase Johnson though. 13 are complete here. 87 laps remain here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Well, excuse me, 107 laps remain on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. And my math is pretty terrible here. I grew up in the state of South Carolina. That should explain everything here. Everett Larson, Corey Tesner, James Fallon run out in the top 4 here. Jonathan Smith, though, will cut the fastest lap on the racetrack that last time around with a 34.18. As he's looking to whoop down the bottom side and run down the closeout fast machine of Jerry Powers, riding out the front board of Jonathan Smith here. Riding on board with Jonathan Smith as he heads off turns 3 and 4 here. John Michael Bryant right behind him though. John Michael Bryant really locked and loaded inside of that race car here, trying to make something shake here. Fresh off of work here, he'll hit the clock out on a Saturday night, jump into the race car here and sail around the Gateway International Raceway Technology Center. And John Michael Bryant, we're going to make something shake here. He's got Nicholas Maynard in his hindsight view. Meanwhile, Corey Tester's looking to make a pass for the second place spot off of turn 3 and 4. Maybe Johnson, Larson, Tesner, then Fallon, the top 4 here. They have separated themselves from about a 3-second gap between them and Jerry Powers here. Showing you the dogs from the puppies, who's willing to commit really deep down there into the corners on the break here and risk of locking them up here. Johnson is looking to battle across Everett Larson, but Everett Larson, not sure if he's trying to make the move yet already, as he's all over the back bumper of the number 5 of Chase Johnson, who looks to the outside here, trying to get a good exit off the corner here. Can Everett Larson put the power down and go run down Chase Johnson here for the race lead here? Everett Larson currently second best on points currently at the moment. The guy that we needed to start leading some laps and score as many points as possible is the number 8 of Corey Tesner and his McAbee Auto Services LLC number 8 Chevy Camaros. He's way below the cut line here, but a great run here today. If he could get out there, lead some laps, every lap led is 1 point added to your total score. And if he could finish the race, possibly pick up the victory, he could find himself locked into the playoffs. The number 8 of Corey Riptide Tesner, though, as you see him not making up any ground to Everett Larson through turns 3 and 4. And Chase Johnson to pull away from Everett Larson out of turns 3 and 4. You see the gap back here to Jerry Powers and the rest of the guys. Everybody spanned out pretty solidly throughout the field here at the Gateway Raceway Technology Center in Illinois here. Ladies and gentlemen, I've seen Kenny Wallace and Rusty Wallace absolutely going at it down there on pit road tonight pre-race. Ladies and gentlemen, them and John Michael Bryant was going at it. Ladies and gentlemen, I heard John Michael Bryant trying to look to get that Jag sponsors on that 23 machine from Kenny Wallace. Kenny told him, fuck off, do your own thing. John Michael Bryant threw a left-hand hook, connected right to Kenny Wallace's dome here. Jerry Powers really slow down on the bottom side of the racetrack there. Tons of grip, though, for the number 99 machine here. We're listening to the radio chatter for the number 99. He's asking for a little bit of a wedge adjustment here when they go into pit for the first time for the number 99. I'm hearing about 60-ish laps in gas on a full tank for these Xfinity cars here for the Madness Racing League. Nicholas Maynard hasn't won a race since the Homestead Miami Speedway in the Gen 6 Cup Series about 4 months ago. He's looking to pick up the victory here tonight. Down on the bottom side of the racetrack here. He'll lose another spot to Jonathan Smith here, the number 13 Coffee Premier, whatever the hell you want to call it, the Engine 4 Coffee Premier Setups. Number 13 Chevy Camaro of Jonathan Smith. Jonathan Smith was able to hold off Chase Johnson for that win at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway about a month ago, about 2 or 3 races ago. Not very quite sure. For the way that we run our leagues here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, it's really easy to get discombobulated and confused here. Meanwhile, Alfonso Claudio has joined the party here with Holden Wheeler and John Michael Bryant. They'll work their way down here to turn 3 and 4, and Holden Wheeler will close the gap up big time there to John Michael Bryant. Looking to get around the Gorilla Mine Toyota Supra. Both of these cars got those left side tires down on the berm, trying to get that rotation needed to make off a little bit of extra speed here. Meanwhile, Blake Hochschild and Sean Williams will battle it out back here for the 11th and 12th place spot. Kyle Fountain, after connection with the outside wall there to start tonight's event, he'll bring out the one and only caution we've had so far. Just trying to get it to a caution flag here so his team can get out there and repair that race car. Big shot to the outside wall. Holden Wheeler goes around. Caution flag out here for the number 79 of Holden Wheeler from Mooresville, North Carolina. Right as we were talking about a caution flag, Holden Wheeler we'll take a sledgehammer shot into the inside wall here. We'll back that ass up here with the number 79. James River Equipment, Chase Johnson Racing entry of Holden Wheeler. That's a huge shot into the outside wall. We'll take a look here, see what happened. Holden Wheeler just loosed off the corner here, straight into the outside wall. Bam, hard shot there for the number 79 of Holden Wheeler from Mooresville, North Carolina. We'll back that ass up one more time and see if we can't ride on board with Holden Wheeler here. See it step out on him here. He's got his hands loose here. Nothing he can do about it. Tries to lock it down here. And he's just going to boom all along for the ride there. Airborne for the number 79. James River Equipment Machine of Holden Wheeler. If he can get this thing refired, it'll be a miracle. All tore up here in Gateway in Illinois. We'll take that commercial break and be back in just a moment. Holden Wheeler trying to get it back to the pit road. Back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel underneath the second caution flag here tonight. We'll kill the music here for the number 79 of Holden Wheeler here. Got a couple of takers coming down pit road. James Fountain will be the one leading them on down here. It is number 24 Machine, followed by John Michael Bryant, Sean Williams, and then Holden Wheeler here. So we'll see how things shake out for these guys. Holden Wheeler takes a huge shot into the outside wall. He'll let down that safety net on that number 79 Machine and hop on out here and take that trip to the infield care center. That'll do it for Holden Wheeler. So John Michael Bryant with a quick stop there. Looks like maybe gas only for the number 23 Machine. James Fountain to take 4 fresh tires there, as well as Sean Williams here. So a couple takers out here on pit road. Everybody else will stay out on the racetrack though. Showtime Chase Johnson will lose the race lead to Everett Larson here with 22 laps completed out of 120. 98 laps remain here tonight. Jerry Powers here cut the fastest lap on the racetrack before the caution flag flew there. So, ladies and gentlemen, plus 5 points. Excuse me. Can barely talk here tonight for the fastest lap of the event here. And if you're points racing, trying to make your way into the playoffs, that's exactly what you need here. You need to be trying to go for these extra bonus points, hard charging yourself throughout the field. If you started in the back here, everybody looks like they're going to make their way back out on to the racetrack, though. Holden Wheeler is out of the event here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Should be double wide next time on by behind Peter the pace car. Never mind, he'll cut the lights off this time. Tells everybody the double file it up here, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting ready to go back racing here for the St. Louie 120. Live here from the Gateway Raceway in Madison, Illinois. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Kenny Wallace, the commander here tonight, started, cranked up the engine. Rusty Wallace up on the flag stand to get the green flag here through the field tonight as we celebrate our time here in Missouri. Ladies and gentlemen, here in the Midwest Showdown here tonight on a Saturday night. Corey Tesner been the fastest car up to this point so far. He moved up 3 positions from where he started here, but Jerry Powers has been the top pick so far up to tonight's event, up 8 spots from where he began. He's currently rounding out the 4th place spot. It'll be all in Everett Larkson's hands here through the Geico restart zone behind Peter the pace car. Ladies and gentlemen, we are excited to bring you the regular season finale here. Getting ready to go playoff racing for season 2. It feels like we just kicked off season 1 just the other day. Everett Larson's got the rest of the field behind him here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Green flag will be in the air. Green, 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 green. Back green here for the St. Louie 120 live here in Missouri. Corey Tesner, the number 8 Maccabee Auto Services Chevy Camaro down into turns 3 and 4 here. Everett Larson able to hold off for the race lead, though. He'll have Chase Johnson on that left front quarter panel. Not able to clear himself, though. Everett Larson will redeem the race lead down the back straightaway. Everybody else looking to get single file. The battle back here between Nick Crawford and Cousin Country Big Kyle Fountain will take shape here in the turns 3 and 4. And the boogeyman of John Michael Bryant, you best believe, looking to put the bumper to somebody. John Michael Bryant riding on board with the boogeyman. Needs a victory, needs the most points as possible, as well as he's sitting currently the last one in on points 3 wide here in Gateway. John Michael Bryant doing exactly that, looking to get aggressive here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. Kyle Fountain had to get shipped up the racetrack. James Fountain, meanwhile, on the bottom side, he'll make it 3 wide. Kyle Fountain collected it to the outside wall back here, though. He's able to hold on to it, though. See if he can't keep it green here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll see how things shake out. Kyle Fountain, big loose off the corner there. He'll go around, but looks like we've kept it green so far up to this point. Everybody else has got their foot on the gas. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll keep it green here with 26 laps remaining here. Kyle Fountain into the outside wall there for the 2nd time tonight. The Jim Fountain Racing entry, he's got to get that thing up and shaking here. He's got some damage on the left rear quarter panel. Meanwhile, Blake Hochschild here currently sitting in the mid-pack here on points to lock himself in. He's currently in right now, but Alfonso Claudio, the guy right behind him, the Season 1 champion, needing these points here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. If he wants to defend his championship, he's got his Mike and Ice Toyota Supra absolutely jetted out here tonight. He'll clear Blake Hochschild for another position here, but James Fountain, ladies and gentlemen, took 4 fresh tires underneath the caution flag here. He is one of very few little many people on the racetrack right now who are battling handling conditions here. James Fountain will cut the fastest lap on the racetrack that last time around. You look out the front board of James Fountain as he's currently running around for the 6th place spot right now, trying to get around Jonathan Smith on these fresh, brand new, fresh Goodyear tires. Looks like he'll roll right to the bottom side of Jonathan Smith here in the battle's on for the 6th place spot, Can he clear himself off of turn 2? He will. Now the next person in decline. It's got to be Nicholas Maynard and Jerry Powers, the guys up in front of him. Meanwhile, Showtime Chase Johnson will get back around Everett Larson for the race lead here. Showtime Chase Johnson way up the racetrack there. He'll blow the corner. Trying to get a good exit there. Trying to diamond for a good exit there. As Everett Larson looks like he may have slipped up a little bit. That's allowed Corey Riptide Tesner to put his nose in there, but he'll think better of it. James Fountain will get a 2 for 1 down here in the corner. Nicholas Maynard will plug the hole underneath Jerry Powers for the 6th place spot here. Nicholas Maynard trying to make something shake here. Side by side off of turns 3 and 4 here. Everybody's able to hold on to it. Nicholas Maynard will fall back in line here. And Jonathan Smith is entered the chat here with 30 laps complete next time around. Ladies and gentlemen, I've absolutely talked my whistle away here. I'm going to send you guys away for a fast and loud here down for the St. Louie 120, riding on board with your favorite race car driver. back here for the fast and loud, riding on board with James Fountain here as he's chopping his way through the field on those brand new 4 Goodyear Eagle tires. As he's looking to make the pass for the race lead now below the number 01 of Everett Larson in the Stack of Pennies podcast. Food City 01, and Everett won't even give him a chance to fight here, ladies and gentlemen. James Fountain will redeem the race lead here on his brand new tires here as he's looking to set sail here. Jerry Powers, Corey Tesler, and Showtime Chase Johnson round out the top 5 here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Meanwhile, Corey Tesler trying to work the driver owner Chase Johnson here. Poor position off the front bumper here. Corey Tesler has been the fastest race car up to this point. He just cut the fastest flat on the racetrack behind James Fountain there on those brand new fresh Goodyear tires here. Meanwhile, James Fountain up here big time loose through turns 3 and 4. That's opened up the door again once more for Everett Larson. They'll sell their way off of turns 3 and 4. James Fountain still battling off of turns 4 way across the line. He was handling issues. Meanwhile, Corey Tesler's looking to make the race pass here across the driver owner of Chase Johnson here. He'll low down big time here into the bottom of turns 1 and 2 here. Chase Johnson will stick on the outside here. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, 2 oddly different shaped sides of tonight's event of the racetrack here. They head down into turns 3 and 4. A big, wide, sweeping 3 and 4 here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel allows these guys to be able to be back in the throttle way much longer than the rest of the guys are that are on old tires here. You really want to drive off that right rear tire. Get that thing scooted on out there. Meanwhile, Nicholas Maynard and Blake Hochschild are going at it here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the 8th place spot here in Alfonso Claudio. The first person currently out on points is the number 85 Mike and Ike's Toyota Supra Machine, the Season 1 champion. He's running around trying to outrun John Michael Bryant. John Michael Bryant currently the last one in on points on the bottom of that cut line. John Michael Bryant knows he has to have a great day here today, and Alfonso Claudio needs to get up front here, lead some laps, and outfinish John Michael Bryant in position. Meanwhile, Corey Tesler's battling side by side with Chase Johnson across the line here. 36 laps are complete out of 120. We are glad you are tuned in here to the Booty Scoot Racing channel. It's been one hell of a show so far up to this point. 2 caution flags are all we are good for so far up to this point. James Fountain will go down underneath the caution flag. He'll be the only one besides Sean Williams to take 4 fresh Goodyear tires here, but he's able to shake his way up through the field here. And you see the significant difference there as that tires make here around Gateway. This 1.25 mile asphalt oval looks like Corey Tesler's finally worked around Showtime Chase Johnson. Showtime Chase Johnson will work his way across the nose of Jerry Powers, and Jerry Powers will look back down here on the bottom side of the racetrack here. Looking to close out the pass here. Contacts made through turns 1 and 2. Jerry Powers up the racetrack here. He'll set sail away from Chase Johnson, and that'll open up the door for Jonathan Smith, and Alfonso Claudio's looking to plug another spot here as well. So Chase Johnson's going to have to fight back here if he doesn't want to lose 3 spots here in 1 lap. Alfonso Claudio's trying to make something shake here. They're side by side off of turns 4. Jonathan Smith here has got Chase Johnson, excuse me. It's my damn dyslexia is kicking my ass here tonight. Almost approaching the 40 lap mark here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. James Fountain, the race leader. Everett Larson in the 2nd place spot. Corey Tesler is looking hard for that 2nd place spot right now. Corey Tesler continues to be the class of the field so far. You take out the Goodyear tire conversation with him and James Fountain, this would be the battle for the race lead. Corey Tesler battling again for the 3rd time tonight, trying to get back up there to that 1st place spot. Meanwhile, James Fountain, you're looking out the tail end of him. You see the gap back there to the rest of the field, riding on board with Jerry Powers down here in the turns 1 and 2 on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Corey Tesler not able to get to that number 01 of Everett Larson. Remember, guys, Everett Larson only 14 years old here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Out here with a bunch of older folks here showing them how to get done. Everett Larson will get the invite out to Travis Pastrana Land in Maryland. He'll take the trip there, and he rides around in the Can-Am. Go check out that YouTube on the Nitro Circuits $199 YouTube page to check out Everett Larson and how he really gets down off of the computer, off of the video game here. Meanwhile, everybody else is single file here down in the turns 1 and 2. Alfonso Claudio trying to work across the back bumper of Jonathan Smith here. That's another position on the racetrack here for Alfonso Claudio, but he's not able to get it done. Jonathan Smith sees Alfonso Claudio, and who the hell put a porta potty on the back straightaway? Jonathan Smith down in the turns 3 and 4 here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Trying to close out the gap to Showtime Chase Johnson. Chase Johnson will lose 2 spots there to Corey Tesler. and Jerry Powers, and they've set sail away from them. Meanwhile, James Fountain, it's all about him in the turns 1 and 2 here. As you see the gap, about a 3.3 second gap difference here. As you see the infield go-kart, originally scanned to be put inside of iRacing here. They'll scrap the plans for that here when they scrap the plans for the go-kart. They really need to bring that back. That would be one hell of a show to put on here on the Moody Scoot Racing channel. But ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, now you know. The Gateway International Raceway, where we're at tonight here on the Moody Scoot Racing channel, originally opened as only a road course. It was made into an oval in 1997. Tons of road racing happens here throughout the week here on the Moody Scoot Racing channel, throughout real life here at Gateway. Meanwhile, John Michael Bryant, currently the last one in on points at the current moment. Can't seem to struggle away the number 48 machine of Nick Crawford from Buchanan, West Virginia. Nick Crawford driving the Quesos windy number 48 machine. He's trying to work his way throughout the corner here, not able to commit to the gas quite fully here. As you ride out the front bumper of John Michael Bryant, he's got the Blake Haas machine of Blake Haaschild in front of him. And there's a huge gap between Blake Haaschild and the next person in front of him is Nicholas Maynard here, who sailed off the seeping in of Alfonso Claudio, Jonathan Smith, Chase Johnson, and the rest of these boys here. 43 laps are complete out of 120. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll let you roll around here with Billy the Blimp driver underneath the commercial break here, because you won't miss a single thing of this action-packed racing going around the racetrack. We'll be back in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like the caution flag is flown here on the Moody Scoot Racing channel. Right as Kyle Fountain was going down pit road here, we've seen Trent Hughes slow down on the bottom side of the racetrack as well. So I'm not sure who the caution flag is going to go for here. Looks like we got tons of guys back here. Looks like they were able to skate their way through it. But Trent Hughes is down on the bottom side of the racetrack here. That looks like maybe why the caution flag will fly here tonight on the Moody Scoot Racing channel. Kyle Fountain down here as well. We'll have to take a look and see exactly what happened. It was definitely Trent Hughes and Kyle Fountain tangling it together here down the back straightaway. Looks like this started off of turn 2. We'll back that ass up and throw up the instant replay. As we were underneath the commercial break here, I was trying to eat a little bit of goldfish and wet my whistle here. The battle was off of turns 3 and 4 here. Kyle Fountain on the outside. Looks like Trent Hughes tries to make a block here. And this contact for both of them. Kyle Fountain will right hook Trent Hughes and send him around here on the Moody Scoot Racing channel. A hard hit to the inside wall for Kyle Fountain. Trent Hughes is able to hold on to it. Kyle Fountain not happy with the way that Trent Hughes raced him right there. And it looks like he'll chase him down the racetrack there for a right hook here. We'll ride out the front bumper of Kyle Fountain. We'll take a look here, see if we can't see what happened inside of that machine for Kyle. Just get shut in the outside wall. Kyle Fountain will just chase him down the racetrack. Yeah, a right hook there to the number 18 machine of Trent Hughes. So Kyle Fountain not playing any games here tonight in Gateway. Trent Hughes will go around here, and so will Kyle Fountain right here as the leaders are coming around. That'll bring out the caution flag. We'll take a commercial break and be back after this. Don't go nowhere. Back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, we're going to third caution flag here tonight after Kyle Fountain send around Trent Hughes in the right rear hook, and Kyle Fountain will be placed on the driving aggressive policy here. He'll be parked here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. No right rear hooks are allowed into the league. Everett Larson will fill out behind James Fountain as they lead him down pit road. Guys, this will be the first pit stops here for the majority of the group here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channels. Everybody else looked like they was able to hold on to it here tonight. Some green flag racing is what we've always endured and what we've wanted best in most here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Everybody feeling it in there. Look at Billy the blimp driver up there throwing back those Budweisers flying around the racetrack here. Here's the battle off of pit road. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like Nicholas Maynard's guys are hopping the thing here. They're gonna jack up the right side of the race car here. Let's switch over to the left side. It'll be 4 Goodyear tires for Nicholas Maynard, at least in that machine. The battle off pit road will go to Nick Crawford. He'll stay out on the racetrack, so James Fountain will get it again. So double pit for James Fountain as you see everybody else fiddle off the screen here to the right side. So we'll let everybody fill off the ways off of pit road here before we continue to run out the rest of the field. We don't want to be that guy here. Trent Hughes still stuck on pit road trying to get that damage fixed after being turned around by Kyle Fountain. Kyle Fountain out of that race car here, parked on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. So catching up behind Peter the pace car here, working the caution flag for the third time here tonight. Nick Crawford from Buchanan, West Virginia will throw a Hail Mary here. He'll stay out on the racetrack here. So strategy in effect here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll let everybody complete the lap here underneath the caution flag. That should reset our pit stop strategy laps. And we'll be able to see who did what, when, where, why, and how. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like it's going to be double file now behind Peter the pace car this time around. We appreciate you guys tuning in here. It's been one hell of a race so far. Here's the pit stop strategy pit lap count. So James Fountain, Sean Williams, and John Michael Bryant, the only 3 guys in the field, followed by Kyle Fountain on lap 3. We're the only ones to pit previously before this previous caution here. So I would imagine probably gas only for those drivers here. James Fountain's hopped out here to the front row spot from the race lead where he was currently at here. Hard to tell though. We'll see where things shake out though on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. James Fountain scored the win 2 weeks ago, or a couple weeks ago at the Chicagoland Speedway. So he's racing for a championship here. Looks like he's just trying to spoil the party here. Jonathan Smith back out on the racetrack. Jerry Powers back out here as well. Nicholas Maynard on the top side of Alfonso Claudio. Should be one hell of a finish here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We got about 70 laps remaining here in tonight's St. Louie 120 live from the Gateway International Raceway here in Missouri. Nick Crawford's going to be the race leader here through the Geico restart zone. He'll be in full control. Here we are. Green, 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 green. Back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Nick Crawford will lead the lap there that time around. Every lap led is 1 point added to your total score. Nick Crawford will work down on the bottom side of the racetrack here with the race lead. James Fountain will pummel hard though, quick and early with them tires there. He'll follow the outside. Big shot there for James Fountain. Caution flag is out here for James Fountain. What a disaster for the number 24 machine. With a big shot there, we will back that ass up here on the instant replay for James Fountain. Looks like an overcorrection for the Chevy number 24 machine from Greenville, South Carolina. Was just talking about how he's already locked into the playoffs, just needing an okay day here tonight. See if we can't ride on board with the number 24. Take a look and see what happened here. He was sailing 2 turns, 1 and 2 on the restart here. Just sits a little loose, overcorrects, bam, hard into the outside wall for the number 24. And some great driving from the number 25. Looks like Nicholas Maynard collects the outside wall, trying to avoid it. But James Fountain there spun around off of turns 1 and 2 by himself. Big damage to the number 24. We'll back that ass up and take it to another commercial break. Here's James Fountain, a playoff driver with some big trouble here. That'll take down one of the contenders here tonight.
Little naughty,
Back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series. This is the remaining schedule, and this is all we got left for Season 2. We've been counting them down week after week after week here. It's been one hell of a season so far. We're Super Speedway racing 2 weeks from now to kick off the playoffs at Atlanta Motor Speedway for 120 laps. We're heading on over to Richmond for some short track racing. Then on over to Auto Club for the 2-mile showdown. That should be one hell of an event, and one of the most ones I'm looking forward to. And then we're heading on over to Homestead, where our final 4 contestants will take on the championship race around Homestead for 120 laps. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're new here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel and how things work, this is the Madness Racing League trifecta of the night. We're taking on the Gateway Racing Center live here tonight in Madison, Illinois, opened in May of 1997, a 1.25 mile oval, asphalt oval, and formerly known only as a road course. Ladies and gentlemen, how unique is that? Ladies and gentlemen, the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series reminding you to go check out Flawless Detailing Company, perfection in every detail. Go see Carson White, tell him the Madness Racing League sent you. MRL's Xfinity Series presented by TCW Employee-Owned Trucking, live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, serving you all across the country. And finally, the Madness Racing League presented by Pop Sports Bet Swings, 864-978-1913. Hell, wow, night, ladies and gentlemen. While he's up here, we might as well give him a little bit of love. Closeoutbets.com since 1992, over 650,000 satisfied customers. Shop over 50,000 baseball and softball gloves and bats today. Ladies and gentlemen, you can check out the Closeout Bet sponsor on the side of the number 99 of Jerry Powers right there. He's representing the Closeout Bets company here tonight for the Madness Racing League. Getting ready to go back racing here. We'll kill the music on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Should be one hell of a finish here. Nick Crawford will take these laps led here underneath the caution flag. He stays out on his old tires. James Fountain trying to make a charge back to the race lead, gets a little loose, pummels it to the outside wall when he overcorrects here. And that'll bring the field back to the Geico restart zone for Nick Crawford to lead him back off. And Corey Tessner in the second place spot, followed by Everett Larson, and then Showtime, Chase Johnson. Nick Crawford through the Geico restart zone, back on the gas. We are back green here for the St. Louie 120, and Nick Crawford gets a great jump here to the race lead down into turns 1 and 2 on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. He'll get a nice arc up and off of turns 1 and 2. Corey Tessner's just able to put the power down on fresh Goodyear tires. Side by side across for the race lead. Corey Tessner will make the pass, and Corey Riptide Tessner will become the race leader down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4 here. Meanwhile, the Closeout Bats number 99 machine trying to roll up to the back bumper of Chase Johnson. Nick Crawford on them old tires. He'll play the friend game. He'll move up to the top side of the racetrack, not trying to ruin anybody's race. That's a smart guy here. You're riding out the back end of Showtime Chase Johnson. Side by side back there is Nick Crawford and Jerry Powers. And here comes Jonathan Smith looking to battle here into the back. Looking to battle in here to the top 5 spot. And he'll do it. He'll drive right by Nick Crawford, and so will John Michael Bryan. He'll fill, plug, and move past the 48 machine, and Blake Hochschild is going to do the same here in his Toyota Supra down into turns 3 and 4 on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. This camera angle right here has been the one all night. You're really able to see who's able to pull away, drive off the corners, and get into the corners better than everybody else. They'll come across the front stretch here live on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. 55 laps are complete here. Tonight you see the arch in the background back there behind the city here in St. Louis. We're racing in Missouri, ladies and gentlemen. If you've never been to the Gateway Arch, would highly recommend you find your way on over there down here tonight. After the broadcast is over with for tonight's main event, we will be crowning our playoff drivers here tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, all of our playoff drivers will be taking a trip on over there to the Gateway Arch. You can go check them out there, go sign some autographs. Meanwhile, Corey Tessner will pummel the outside wall there. That'll open up the door for Everett Larson for the race lead, and the battle's back on here. Up front, the 14-year-old 01 Stacking Pennies podcast. Food City Ford Mustang of Everett Larson has been fast all night. He asked for a wedge adjustment underneath the caution flag, underneath the previous pit stop for himself. Said he didn't take about a half a pound out the left rear tire, so he could be able to grip up down there on the bottom side. Meanwhile, he'll miss the bottom time this time around. Chase Johnson's able to roll nice and neatly through there, though, and that'll close up the back bumper big time there. To Showtime, Chase Johnson's back bumper from Everett Larson. Meanwhile, the front stretch here, down across the front straightaway here, Everett Larson hard onto the brake there, but he's able to close the gap up big time there to Corey Tessner. Corey Tessner gets big loose off of turns 1 and 2, and the battle's on here with about 50 laps remaining here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Everybody else single file throughout the rest of the field. Nicholas Maynard and Nick Crawford, the two Nicks going at it back here. This is the Rock and Roll Racing, two teammates back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Which Nick is going to get the better of who? Down on the bottom side of the racetrack, Nicholas Maynard on the inside of Nicholas Crawford, and Nick Crawford on the outside. Nick Maynard's able to make the pass, though. Nicholas Maynard will make the pass over there for, looks like going to be the 10th place spot, 9th place spot, excuse me. Setting on their eyes on sight for Alfonso Claudio. The first one out here on points, needing to get by that 23 machine of John Michael Bryant. John Michael Bryant in the spot that he needs to be right now, currently the last one in on points on the cut line. Pretty familiar there, we're driving that number 23, almost similar to Bubba Wallace. When it comes time for the playoffs, you always find yourself right there at the cut line for the second season in a row. But John Michael Bryant picked up the win last season to kick off the year at Daytona. Don't forget about it. The Boogeyman looking to make something to say. He can definitely pick up the victory here, but he's being worked big time by the number 2 of Blake Hochschild off of turns 3 and 4. Not able to complete the flat pass as the number 2 of Blake Hochschild. Blake will make the somewhat short trip out here to the Midwest from the west coast of Arizona, out here to Missouri here tonight. He asked for a wedge adjustment underneath the previous caution flag, a brand new water bottle, and somebody could retighten his leg belts there because they were starting to come unloose here as he's been going back and forth with John Michael Bryant for quite a while now. Meanwhile, the battle back here for the race lead has kind of dialed down a little bit. Corey Tessner's pulled away for about a half car length over Everett Larson here, and Everett Larson's got Chase Johnson all over the back bumper of him, and the battle's on here down the back straightaway. If you see the opening in front of that straightaway, you would be shocked and scared as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you, look back here in the background as we come across the front stretch to take a look at the beautiful city of St. Louis. Make sure you go check them out here. It's one beautiful racetrack. Thank you for hosting the Booty Scoot Racing channel. There it is back there, the arch in the city. What a beautiful shot here from Billy the Blimp Driver. He's been back there, up there all night, throwing back Budweiser after Budweiser, trying to stay sober, or trying to stay awake, I should say. Meanwhile, Jonathan Smith will cut the fastest lap on the racetrack that last time around. So, kind of maybe playing a little bit of NB games here, seeing what maybe might have to shake out. Jonathan Smith already won, 4 weeks ago, at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So Jonathan Smith knows he'll be competing for a championship here the next couple of weeks here when we start off the playoff. Meanwhile, Blake Hochschild is just trying to hold on to his spot here. And John Michael Bryant is the last guy in on points of that cut line. Blake Hochschild is right above him. And then you got to find Nicholas Maynard right there as well. So these guys all separated by about 7 points here. Nicholas Maynard, Blake Hochschild, and John Michael Bryant. These three guys are going to be running for their life from a hungry Alfonso Claudio who needs to get up there in the top half of the field, about first through fourth place spots, where they're paying out really good points for the number 85 machine. He needs to get up there and lead some laps, but he's struggling hard inside that number 85 Mike and Ike's Toyota Supra as he crosses the line there. 63 laps are complete here around the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Ladies and gentlemen, Corey Riptide Tessner is the race leader. We'll throw it away, ladies and gentlemen, for a quick commercial break side by side from Billy the Blimp Driver. You won't miss a thing around the Gateway International Raceway live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Corey Tessner, the race leader. back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Corey Riptide Tesner continues to lead them here around the Gateway International Raceway for the St. Louie 120 live for the Madness Racing League. And we are watching the battle up here between Jerry Powers, Chase Johnson, Corey Tesner, and Everett Larson. You can pretty much throw a blanket underneath these guys just momentarily, not far long ago. But now the battle's starting to get back away here, and Jonathan Smith has entered the chat, ladies and gentlemen. He's looking to battle hard up here for a spot up here for another win in the category for the number 13 machine. Can he get up there? Meanwhile, Jerry Powers really having to back up the corner big time there, which is allowing Everett Larson to come off the gas way more than he would allow to, which he allows the drive and exit off for Jerry Powers. So kind of an advantage for the number 99 and not so well for the number 01 of Everett Larson. We'll see what Everett Larson does to try to combat the dirty air here. He'll try the top side and try to diamond back down on the bottom side of the racetrack here. It looks like he's able to hold on to it. Here comes Nick Crawford off of pit road. Nick Crawford will take the green flag pit stop here after staying out to lead a couple laps and add some points to his total score here. Nick Crawford below the cut line as well. He's trying to make something shake and lock himself into the playoffs, at least make a name for himself. And here's the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard. He works the middle side of the racetrack here, riding out the front bumper of the Maynard Motors 02 machine as he tries to run down Blake Koschal and John Michael Bryant. With 50 laps remaining here tonight, the St. Louie 120, Nicholas Maynard down into turns 3 and 4. And behind him will be the number 85 of Alfonso Claudio. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, Nicholas Maynard barely above John Michael Bryant in the cutoff standings here. This is where these three are currently running at the moment. John Michael Bryant's got about a quarter of a straightaway length over Nicholas Maynard. Nicholas Maynard's got about a 10-car length gap between him and Alfonso Claudio. Alfonso Claudio finishing position in the point that he'll get for currently finishing where he runs now, which would be the 9th place spot if the white flag was to go around next time around. Alfonso Claudio not going to have the points necessary needed to lock himself into the playoffs and defend that championship. Meanwhile, the battle up here is starting to go away from Chase Johnson as he has put a gap in between him and Jerry Powers II from Park Ridge, New Jersey, as they work their way through turns 3 and 4, just trying to feather the gas here. Corey Tesner sailing away with a race lead. We told him Corey Tesner was the topic of the night so far up to this point here. He had the fastest race car. He got the fastest lap 2 laps in a row on old tires when James Bound got to the back half of his here. So we knew Corey Tesner had a shot at it on the Booty Scoot Racing channel and a chance to go to the race lead here. Meanwhile, Nicholas Maynard and Alfonso Claudio have separated their gap bigger time this time. Meanwhile, Blake Koschal is losing touch here to John Michael Bryant. And that number 23 machine, John Michael Bryant, continues to blink in and out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. He'll come back in here. See if he can't ride out the front bumper of Blake Koschal there. As you see, John Michael Bryant got real good grip off the corner there. 73 laps are complete here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. It's been one hell of a show up to this point. Corey Riptide Tesner leads it. Showtime Chase Johnson in the 2nd place spot. Jerry Powers in the 3rd place spot. Everett Larson rounds out the 4th place spot. And Jonathan Smith will round out the top 5, followed by the boogeyman of John Michael Bryant, who works his way down here into turns 3 and 4. And he's got Blake Koschal trailing in his rearview mirror, but in the kid of Nicholas Maynard. Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, we'll do you one more quick update here on the playoffs as they currently sit and run here as we approach 75 laps complete next time allowed. Corey Riptide Tesner currently the race leader in position to walk it off here tonight for a regular season win and lock himself into the playoffs as he is way back out of the cut line here. Every lap led is 1 point added to Corey Tesner's total score. So every lap that he can complete underneath the underneath the green flag here as the race leader is benefiting the number 8 Maccabee Auto Services LLC machine of Corey Tesner. 3 points that he needs to jump his way through the standings. And if he can pick up the victory, those points won't even matter. He'll be locked in on a win. But a 2nd place spot could do him really good justice as well here. Corey Tesner trying to hold off the race lead from Showtime Chase Johnson and advance his way to the playoffs live here on the Xfinity Series for the Booty Scoot Racing Channel's Madness Racing League. And he'll scoot back here to the number 5 of Showtime Chase Johnson. Showtime Chase Johnson already locked into the playoffs as he's picked up a couple wins this season, ladies and gentlemen. Chase Johnson trying to work over the back bumper of the number 8 of Corey Tesner. Chase Johnson almost won the Daytona season opener. He won his heat race but wasn't able to complete the sweep there and pick up the victory. It looks like he's going to work his way yeah, through the middle side right there. Almost picked up the victory over Jonathan Smith in New Hampshire. He led a shit ton of laps, but wasn't able to pick up the victory there. But Chase Johnson currently locked in with his win. I forget the racetrack, excuse me, sorry. But you can head on over to the YouTube page if you want to find out where all the full races are posted there. Everett Larson currently locked in on points, 14 years old out here, putting on a show. He's got the guys behind him, nose to tails, Jerry Powers, Nick Crawford, and Jonathan Smith. Everett Larson currently in second on points right now, so he can lose a couple of point spots here. He can have a new winner. Everett Larson's got a little bit of a points gap lead between him and the guys that he's racing against for a playoff spot. Everett Larson looking to compete for a championship here in Season 2. Then you'll scoot back here to Jerry Powers, who's currently, excuse me, a little bit of contact made right there between Jerry Powers and Nick Crawford in that number 48 Queso Chevy Camaro. Meanwhile, like I was saying, Jerry Powers almost had the win at New Hampshire, led 110 laps of the 150 that night, and it was stolen from him on the back half of the race after contact with Showtime Chase Johnson and him, and Showtime Chase Johnson and Nicholas Maynard. Wall hit the outside wall there, the closing laps at New Hampshire. Jerry Powers still winless since that day, but he's currently the highest points in right now on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, currently sitting second in the point standings for the regular season, but just don't have that win to lock himself in permanently and call it a first sure guarantee spot. So Jerry Powers is trying his best here tonight to just hold off and complete the race here. Meanwhile, Jonathan Smith, another playoff driver who has locked himself in on a win. He picked up the win at New Hampshire Motor Speedway over Showtime Chase Johnson, and Jonathan Smith was able to find victory lane there and hasn't found it since, but he's come damn close. He's working currently for that fifth place spot, excuse me, at the current moment here. We'll scoot back here to Blake Koschchild, who's currently the fourth one in on points as they run, driving that number 2 Toyota Supra from Tiffany, Arizona. The Paint House number 2 machine trying his best to just have a solid run here tonight and get that number 2 Toyota Supra to the finish here. Anything to fight another day and go super speedway racing a couple of nights from now. Well, a couple of weeks from now. And then you got behind him the kid of Nicholas Maynard riding out the front bumper of the kid from Welford, South Carolina. Nicholas Maynard winless this season as well. Currently the third one locked in on points. He needs just an okay day as 7 points separate him, John Michael Bryant, and Blake Koschchild from Alfonso Claudio in that final little playoff cut bubble spot there. Then you got to go back to John Michael Bryant here driving the number 23 Gorilla Mine Toyota Supra as well from Greer, South Carolina. He is the cut bubble on points currently for the playoffs. So if John Michael Bryant was to slip up here tonight around Alfonso Claudio, it could cost the number 23 J Money 6 Toyota Supra big time. But he is currently running behind Alfonso Claudio at the current moment. A lap down after taking a green flag pit stop. So the Boogeyman trying his best to do everything possible here. He's going to have to work his ass off and drive the ever-living hell out of that race car. With his fresh Goodyear tires, he's going to have to make up a significant gap difference between him and Showtime Chase Johnson, who's currently worked his way back around. Corey Riptide Tesner for the race lead here. So the two Chase Johnson racing guys will round out the front two spots here, followed by Everett Larson in the Stacking Pennies podcast, number 01. And Jerry Powers will round out the fourth place spot. And Nick Crawford's holding strong there after going out big time on a limb on the pit strategy car. He'll stay out for about 50 laps and lead a couple underneath the caution flag on old tires. He'll go underneath the green flag, start the cycle for himself. He's got a brand new set of Goodyear tires on that machine, and he's just holding strong there a couple laps down here in the night's event. Meanwhile, you'll shoot back here to the rest of these guys going at it. Blake Koschchild and Nicholas Maynard, the gap's getting a little bit smaller there for Nicholas Maynard to Blake Koschchild's back bumper. 85 laps are complete here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Can we run it to the end here on the green flag stops here for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series? For the regular season kickoff finale, it looks like Jonathan Smith is going around. Caution flag is out here. Jonathan Smith slow on the racetrack. We'll have to back that ass up here on the Booty Scoot Racing channels. The caution flag is flying back here for the number 13 Engine 4 Coffee Premier Setups machine. We'll throw up the instant replay for the Goldsboro, North Carolina driver of Jonathan Smith here. It looks like, whoa, big time loose off the corner. We'll have to take a look here, see what happened. Jonathan Smith off of turns 3 and 4. Big loose off the corner, able to lock it down though. But it looks like he'll get completely sideways, which will trigger the caution flag here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel on the iRacing platform. As soon as these cars get sideways vertically and they get the 2X for loss of control, it will throw the caution flag. Jonathan Smith, though, able to lock it down here. No damage to that number 13. He should stay out and take the wave around. We'll be back in just a moment for the pit stops. Don't go nowhere. We're back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, bringing you the pit stops here from Gateway, live here on the TikTok platform. Make sure you guys head on over to the Booty Scoot Racing YouTube page and check out all the full races posted there. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like Sean Williams, Jonathan Smith, and John Michael Bryant and Nick Crawford will stay out on the racetrack to take the wave around this time around. Everybody filing them down pit road, single file. Who's going to get what, when, where, why? See if we can't go down there to some of these pit stops live, up close and personal as everybody fills in their rocks. There comes Showtime, Chase Johnson. Nicholas Maynard's guys are hopping the crew here. They'll jack up the right side of the race car. It's going to be at least right side tires for the kid of Nicholas Maynard here. They'll jump over to the left side. It's going to be 4 Goodyear tires for Nicholas Maynard as we watch for the battle off pit road. The battle off pit road, give it to Chase Johnson over Corey Tesner, followed by Everett Larson, Jerry Powers, Nicholas Maynard with a great stop there as well. It looks like Alfonso Claudio still stuck on pit road. And here comes Blake Hochschild off of pit road right now. And Sean Williams will be stuck on pit road as well as John Michael Bryant will come around now after taking the wave around here. He's going to have to hurry up and get a fresh set of tires on that thing as Peter the Pace car is currently rounding his way through turns 3 and 4 now. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are now just joining in with us and tuning in, we're going to do a quick rundown here with about 35 laps remaining. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Crawford here tonight in the number 48 Quesos machine. Don't be fooled, not the race leader yet. Not the race leader now. He was earlier, but he will stay out on the racetrack here underneath the caution flag, and we'll take the wave around. He'll get his lap back. Jonathan Smith will go around and trigger the caution flag there, loose off of turn 2 on a fresh set of Goodyear tires. A lap down underneath the green flag stop. He'll take the wave around. He'll drive around Peter the Pace car this time around. That'll leave Showtime Chase Johnson as the race leader here from Greer, South Carolina. The 3-time iRacing champion, won the championship for season 1 in the ID5 late model stock division. Champion in the Cup Series for the Madness Racing League Gen 6. And then he won the championship for the Truck Series as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Truck Cup Series champion for the Madness Racing League. Chase Johnson will start on the leader here. Corey Tesner will be on the outside as well. A chartered entry for Chase Johnson. The driver owner, Everett Larson, the 14-year-old, looking for his first victory on the year. He's had a bad fast 0-1 Stacking Pennies podcast. Ford Mustang all night long. And on the outside of him will be the number 99 of Jerry Powers from Park Ridge, New Jersey, looking for that first win after he's led a ton of laps this year. And Nicholas Maynard will fill out there from the 5th place spot down on the bottom side after a great stop from him. He's looking for his first win on the year as well. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like John Michael Bryant trying to catch the tail end of the field. Him and Jonathan Smith catching right as the Peter the Pace car pulls off on the pit road. This time around, we're the 25 lap to go mark. Peter the Pace car hangs it out on the pit road. Everybody on 4 fresh Goodyear tires. We're back racing here in Gateway. Everybody's got 4 brand new Goodyear tires on these race cars here. Should be some action-packed racing throughout the rest of the field here. 87 laps are complete. Nicholas Maynard, Blake Hochschild, and Alfonso Claudio. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to shake up the playoff spots big time here. This is going to be the battle to watch back here between these drivers. Meanwhile, Jerry Powers, Everett Larson, and Nicholas Maynard going at it here for the 4th place spot. Everett Larson on the outside. Jerry Powers will roll down on the bottom side to the inside. Chase Johnson's way gone the race lead over Corey Riptide Tesner side by side. Jerry Powers will clear the number 81. And here comes Nicholas Maynard looking to get around the number 01 of Everett Larson. He won't do it. He'll put the back bumper to the number 01 of Everett. Down on the bottom side of the racetrack here, Alfonso Claudio needs this spot over Nicholas Maynard, and the guys in front of him here. He's trying to hold on to a spot. Big loose down the back straightaway goes Jerry Powers. He's able to hold on to it. What a save for the number 99 closeout back Chevy Camaro of Jerry Powers. Nicholas Maynard will try the top side of the racetrack from turns 3 and 4 out. Something a little different here. He's big loose off the corner, able to hold on to it. Alfonso Claudio trying to work over the back bumper here. Everybody else is fanned out here. Jerry Powers losing tremendously amount of spots here that he really needs. He wants to continue to run up front here. He's almost mathematically locked into the playoffs. Meanwhile, Alfonso Claudio, Nicholas Maynard made contact back here. Alfonso able to hold on to it though, so is Nicholas Maynard. We'll keep it green here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. 2 big saves there for the number 85 and 02. Want to shout out Jerry Powers for his save as well. Brand new tires, trying to get the temp up in these things. These guys are all over the place on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Meanwhile, Everett Larson will make the pass over Corey Tesner for the second place spot. And Chase Johnson will take it down into turns 3 and turns 1 and 2 here. Across the fans here. Down the back straightaway on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, it'll be Johnson, Larson, Tesner, Bryant, Powers, Hochschild, then Smith here, but Smith is going to get a 2 for 1 down the back straightaway. And Sean Williams is looking to plug the hole here as well. Sean Williams, the Daytona season opener winner. He locked himself into the playoffs season 1 this season. On race 1, season 2 this year. Sean Williams has been that guy. Ladies and gentlemen, just quiet throughout the field. He doesn't fight to put a bumper to anybody here. He minds his business. Meanwhile, John Michael Bryant has anybody that he would need right behind him. Currently running in that 4th place spot. Riding out the back end of the number 23, J Money 6. Gorilla Mind 23 Supra. John Michael Bryant will give up the spot to Jerry Powers. Jerry Powers is already ahead of him in points. John Michael Bryant running for his life out here as he's points racing, trying to make sure he's locked into that playoff spot. Him and Blake Hochschild are right there on the bottom half of the cut line. 6 points separate Blake Hochschild and John Michael Bryant down there. And Alfonso Claudio needs these 2 positions over the number 23 machine and the number 2 of Blake Hochschild. He'll work his way through the middle side of turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. And Alfonso Claudio will get around Nicholas Maynard there with a little bit of contact made. They'll have to work it out here down the back straightaway. That's going to cost Alfonso Claudio tremendous amounts of time that he does not have here. With 92 laps coming to 93 complete, Corey Tesner trails Everett Larson, who trails Showtime Chase Johnson down into turns 1 and 2 on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We will send you guys up high into the sky with Billy the Blimp Driver as he throws back the Budweisers all night long, giving you some action-packed shots as we take tonight's final commercial break, giving you all the side-by-side action from the Blimp. .25 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen, to bring it on home here for the regular season for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series Season 2. We are about to find out who is going to the playoffs to fight for a championship. Different format this year, more drivers, More opportunities for these guys. Ladies and gentlemen, Chase Johnson leads them down the back straightaway by about 1.5 second lead over Everett Larson, followed by Corey Tessner, Jerry Powers, and John Michael Bryant trying to hold off the other John in the league for that top 5 spot here as he's having a little bit of trouble behind him. Here comes the Engine 4 Coffee Company of Jonathan Smith. Make sure you go check out Jonathan Smith at NapDaddyRacing.com for all your iRacing paint schemes, liveries, and needs. Jonathan Smith can get you hooked up. Tell him the Madness Racing League sent you. The CloseoutBats.com, number 99 of Jerry Powers tries to make his way through the field. Here comes Sean Williams. Sean Williams will got the fastest lap on the racetrack that last time around. So can Sean Williams be coming to life here with 23 laps to go? Blake Hochschild in the number 2 Paint Haas Toyota Supra trying to run down the guy in front of him, and right behind him will be Nicholas Maynard, who's gotten around the number 85 of Alfonso Claudio. So Alfonso Claudio loses another spot here. That's going to pay less points to the number 85. Not what he needs here. It's John Michael Bryant currently runs up here in the top 5 spot, trying to hold off Jonathan Smith here, fighting for his playoff spot here tonight in Gateway. Riding on board with the boogeyman, John Michael Bryant down the back straightaway here as he tries to keep his, look at his eyeballs really wide, trying to keep locked in there. As he's got his construction company work shirt on, he comes straight off the job, clocked out of work, and come out here on the racetrack to put belt to ass. John Michael Bryant had a tremendous season so far up to this point. 3 top 5s for the number 23 J Money Sense Toyota Supra Machine. And John Michael Bryant told me in the garage with us heading to Atlanta 2 weeks from now for the playoffs to start it off, he felt if he could get himself locked in here tonight, stay off that cut line, and avoid elimination, he had a really good, strong chance 2 weeks from now at picking up the victory at Atlanta. Meanwhile, Everett Larson has moved up to that second place spot around Corey Riptide Tessner, trying to go run down the race leader of Showtime, Chase Johnson, with 20 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. He's going to have to put in a shit ton of work if he wants to be able to get it done. You are watching the St. Louie 120 live from the Gateway Raceway here in Missouri. Looks like John Michael Bryant is under trouble, losing another spot here to the number 13 of Jonathan Smith here. Looking out the ass end of the number 23 J Money Sense Toyota Supra as he's got company of Jonathan Smith, excuse me. As my Johns, they're all over the place. Too many Johns, too many Nicks. Ladies and gentlemen, they'll sail through turns 3 and 4. John Michael Bryant's got those left side tires down on the bottom side. That'll cost him as he gets loose off the corner. And it'll open up the door for Jonathan Smith, though, but he's also loose off the corner, not able to close the gap up there. Meanwhile, Showtime Chase Johnson will lead the rest of the pack here off of turns 3 and 4. He's way gone down the back straightaway as he's opened that gap up to about a 2.4 second lead over Everett Larson and Corey Tessner. Jerry Powers around out the top 4 spot here, followed by the boogeyman of John Michael Bryant, Jonathan Smith, and Sean Williams. That'll be your top 7 drivers here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel with 19 laps to go here. If you are enjoying what you are watching, make sure you head on over to the YouTube page. You can check it out right there in the top right of your screen, the Booty Scoot Racing channel for all of our full races posted there. We have the I-85 Asphalt Series, bringing you late models, modifieds, the Madness Racing League, what you're watching right now, the Cup Series, the Xfinity, trucks, bringing it to you each and every single week. We just kicked off the Dirt Series for Season 2 last night. Meanwhile, Corey Tessner trying to work over the back bumper of Everett Larson for that second place spot again. A little contact's made through the corner. Corey Tessner trying to work the back bumper of Everett Larson here. Everett Larson's got his hands full here. He'll make a little bobble through the Geico restart zone. That'll open up the door for Corey Riptide Tessner down into turns 3 and 4 here. The battle for the second place spot is on here. And with these two guys battling it out side by side like this is just letting Chase Johnson sail away into the distance like my ex-girlfriend. Really don't miss that lady. But anyway, Everett Larson, oh, big shot there to the back end, just like I used to do to her. I should call her. Jerry Powers on the bottom side of the racetrack here. Hits close the gap up big time to the number 8 of Corey Tessner. As you see these two guys continue to battle it out in front of Jerry Powers here. The battle is going to be on big time here with 16 more laps to go for that second place spot. That's opened up the door for Jonathan Smith, John Michael Bryant, Sean Williams, and Nicholas Maynard. He's worked his way back up here with a little bit of right front damage after making contact with Alfonso Claudio. Both of those two guys almost go around. He's worked his way back around the number 2 of Blake Hochschild and Alfonso Claudio as he's got his eyes set on the front of that number 25. But Sean Williams, can he get to the back bumper With only 15 laps to go this time around for Showtime Chase Johnson, he'll come across the line. Everett Larson will put a little bit of distance there between him and Corey Tesler. Jerry Powers around out right behind him here, ladies and gentlemen. Stand up on your feet here as we've seen these little kids going at it last night inside the infield on the road course, driving the go-karts here in Gateway. I kicked that kid's ass last night. I was curting down absolute bangers. I looked like SVG out there. Then they kicked me out there, told me I was too old. I couldn't be racing with the 12-year-old. It's all right, though. Meanwhile, Jerry Powers, seen him out there last night. John Michael Bryant had one too many Modelos. We thought he might be a little hungover coming out here tonight, but he has done everything great up to this point. 14 laps to go on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. John Michael Bryant comes into the night's event 7 points above the cut line from Alfonso Claudio in that number 85 Toyota Supra. So the two Supras, not teammates here tonight, they're battling out for that final spot. Alfonso Claudio is just checked out from the rest of the field here, not having the day that he wants. John Michael Bryant knows that he's just got to keep bringing it on home here. Base hit after base hit, no pun intended for the number 99 Jerry Powers, closeoutbats.com 99 machine. Ladies and gentlemen, since we're got 13 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, we might as well pay a couple bills. The Madness Racing League presented by Nap Daddy Racing Designs. Head on over to napdaddyracing.com for all your iRacing, paint scheme, livery, and needs. The Madness Racing League, Xfinity Series brought to you by the Home Run Cafe. Go check them out at 4 Mill Street in Inman, South Carolina, 29349. Call them today at 864-561-6955. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. And even on Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, go check out Tony Cook. Tell him the Madness Racing League sent you. Well, this is our final bill of the night. Got to pay the light bill for keeping on the lights here. The Saturday Night Xfinity Series presented by closeoutbats.com. Since 1992, over 650,000 satisfied customers. Ladies and gentlemen, getting ready to round up the regular season here tonight. Get ready to crown our playoff drivers with 12 laps to go here. If you want to join the Madness Racing League, make sure that you go and click the code here, and it'll get you straight to the Discord machine. Ladies and gentlemen, here's some complaints on the radio from the number 2 of Blake Koschchild after he lost the spot to the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard. Some handling conditions inside of the number 2s. He's got that thing cranked out like Soldier Boy. It's all the way over to the left. Blake Koschchild trying to hold on to that playoff spot, though. It's Alfonso Claudio is right behind him, and Alfonso Claudio has 3 guys ahead of him by 12 points or less, and Blake Koschchild is one of those drivers. Can the number 2 Toyota Supra fight off Alfonso Claudio? Meanwhile, John Michael Bryant, Jonathan Smith has put a gap in between that battle. 10 laps to go on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. For Showtime Chase Johnson, as he's 3.4 seconds out in front of the pack. Meanwhile, Nick Crawford in jeopardy of going a lap down here. You're looking out in the back end of the Queso's Wendy's number 48 Rock and Roll Racing Machine as he makes his way down into turns 3 and 4 here, just trying to stay out of the way of the race leader. Meanwhile, Blake Koschchild battling some handling conditions on that race car. It's opened up the door for Alfonso Claudio. Alfonso Claudio is going to need more than just some position points. He's going to need the fastest lap, bonus point, something here to help the number 85. He has not been able to get up there and lead any kind of laps to eat into that deficit. Mean though, while Corey Riptide Tesner, that number 8, Maccabee Auto Services LLC Chevy Camaro, has led 27 laps tonight, adding 27 laps to his total score, not adding on the points that he would finish for whatever position that he was to get here in 9 laps to go. Him and Everett Larson's been banging it out all night long. That's the difference between 34 or 35 points. Ladies and gentlemen, 35 points paid out to the second place driver, 34 to the third place driver, Corey Tesner, playing with fire here. Every point matters. He needs to get back around the number 01 of Everett Larson. Meanwhile, John Michael Bryant, your mom's favorite driver from Greer, South Carolina, down here on the bottom to the middle side of the racetrack, just trying to bring this thing home here. The J Money 6 Toyota Supra has had one hell of a year so far up to this year. Caution after caution, 3 top 5 for the 23 J Money 6 machine. All year long, he's just been base hit after base hit here as he'll work his way down on the bottom side here. Chase Johnson across the line for 7 laps to go here in the St. Louie 120, live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Nick Crawford will go a lap down there to the race leader, Showtime Chase Johnson. Then it'll be Everett Larson, followed by Corey Tesner and Jerry Powers. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm almost certain to say up to this point right now, mathematically, the number 99 of Jerry Powers from Park Ridge, New Jersey, has mathematically locked himself into a playoff spot here as he came in already almost 100 points above the cut line. He's just adding on here tonight with what looks like going to be a top 5 finish if he can keep it together here. 6 laps remain, though. A caution flag could be the difference in between some of these guys. It's regular season. And a spot in a playoff spot here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Nicholas Maynard will cut the fastest lap on the racetrack that last time around with a 35.10. And the race leader of Chase Johnson will run a 35.12. So just a little bit faster for Nicholas Maynard. But Showtime Chase Johnson just trying to bring it on home here with 6 laps to go. He'll come across the line. It'll be 5 laps remaining here in the regular season for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series. Big loose off the corner is Corey Riptide Tesner. Corey Tesner, 27 laps led, looking at a 3rd place finish so far if he can hang on to it. Can he bring home about 60 points to add to the bank? Will it be enough to get him into the playoffs? 5 laps to go down the back straightaway. I want to remind you guys, ladies and gentlemen, here's the remaining schedule for Season 2 for the Madness Racing League. 2 weeks from now, we'll start the playoffs. We'll head on over to Atlanta Motor Speedway underneath the lights for some super speedway drafting racing. It should be one hell of a show. Then we'll head on over to Richmond, head on out to Auto Club, and then we'll sail on down to Miami, where I got me a couple of ladies down there ready to rock and roll for championship weekend. But we got to first get through tonight's event first. Ladies and gentlemen, the battles are pretty much discombobulated themselves throughout the rest of the field, though. Showtime Chase Johnson is selling away with about a 3.5 second lead over Everett Larson, and Everett Larson has just tanked away from Corey Riptide Tesner as Corey Tesner has been big loose off the corner. You hear him scrape the wall there through the Geico restart zone. 3 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. John Michael Bryant taking it down here into turns 1 and 2, right on board the Boogeyman. Way down into the bottom side. John Michael Bryant just can't get any kind of rotation into that race car as he sails off of turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. John Michael Bryant coming to the night on the cut line here with 9 points to his name to the good. Trying his hardest to bring it on home here. Shifting inside of that race car, trying to bring it home. The 23 machine doing everything possible. The number 8 of Corey Riptide Tesner in desperate jeopardy of losing another spot to Jerry Powers. Corey Tesner already way below the cut line here. Coming to the night, everything has gone to plan up to this point. He's led laps to add up to the points to try to make the deficit little. Chase Johnson coming off of turns 3 and 4. He'll see the white flag in the air this time around, presented by AFLglobal.com. White flag is in the air for Showtime Chase Johnson as he sails down into turns 1 and 2 here, followed by Jerry Powers and Corey Tesner. Big loose off the corner for Jerry Powers. And Corey Tesner will have to hold it on behind Everett Larson here. Everybody else sails their way across the line now. Blake Koschau headed through turns 3 and 4. But it'll be Showtime Chase Johnson diving down into turns 3 and 4 for the final time here tonight. Chase Johnson will come off of turn 4, and he will win his 2nd race of the year. Chase Johnson in the Flow Racing number 5 will win the St. Louie 120. Everett Larson will come across the line and finish in the 2nd place spot, followed by Corey Tesner, Jerry Powers, and Jonathan Smith will round out the top 5, followed by the Boogeyman of John Michael Bryan. He'll come across the start-finish line across the lap traffic. He'll get the 6th place spot over Sean Williams, who will grab the 7th place spot. And 8th place spot will go to Nicholas Maynard. Alfonso Claudio will get the 9th place spot. And Blake Koschau will come across here as the 9th place finisher. The 10th place spot guy here on the lead lap here. And Nick Crawford will finish the race here a lap down, 2 laps down in the 11th place spot. But Showtime Chase Johnson will win here tonight at the Gateway International Raceway live here in Missouri as the fireworks go off around turns 3 and 4. Showtime Chase Johnson victorious here tonight in St. Louis. Ladies and gentlemen, the guys will bring them on down the pit road right now. Chase Johnson will bring it across the start-finish line here, getting ready to burn it down for the fans here. They got a parking lot back here on the pit road. Nicholas Maynard going around as well. The Showtime Chase Johnson is going to be victorious here tonight in the Xfinity Series Season 2, race number 6, live here from the Worldwide Technologies Raceway. Chase Johnson will lead 64 laps here tonight in his Flow Racing Chase Johnson Racing chartered entry. Chase Johnson already won one time this year, his second win on the season. He'll burn it down right here as you look at the back city of St. Louis in the background underneath the arch. Chase Johnson wins the St. Louie 120. Chase Johnson will burn it down here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel at the line here at the Gateway International Raceway here in Madison, Illinois. He'll pick up his second victory on the year, and he'll win the St. Louie 120, ladies and gentlemen. Chase Johnson will turn that race car back around. We'll be back in just a moment with the Madness Racing League post-show and driver interviews for the conclusion of tonight's event. Who will lock themselves into the playoffs? We'll be back in just a moment with all that. Don't go nowhere.
Build up all my calluses, push through all their callousness. Becoming reckless, I'm ambitious and I'm restless, yeah. Was an apprentice but possessed a different engine, so I asked a lot of questions and I learned a lot of lessons, yeah. Got different weapons and I worked on my direction, yeah. We gon' hike through the flame, we gon' die with a name. We gon' fight through the pain, we gon' rise up and change. We gon' strive to make gains, we don't hide from the blame. We take pride when we train, we gon' rise up and change. We gon' hike through the flame, we gon' die with a name. We gon' fight through the pain, we gon' rise up and change. We gon' strive to make gains, we don't hide from the pain. We take pride when we train, we gon' rise up and change.
Welcome back here to the Booty Scoot Racing channel live on the TikTok platform. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just wrapped up tonight's main event here tonight at the Gateway Racing Center here in Madison, Illinois. Opened in 1997. We had a sold-out capacity of 57,000 asses in the stands here tonight to see who would lock themselves into the Madness Racing League playoffs, ladies and gentlemen, down here on the main broadcast. Here's tonight's final results here for the post-race show for the Season 2, race number 6 for the regular season. Chase Johnson will pick up the victory here tonight, followed by Everett Larson, Corey Tetzner, Jerry Powers, and Jonathan Smith will round out the top 5, ladies and gentlemen. We do have a pit reporter down there on pit road with the race winner of Showtime, Chase Johnson. We'll see what he had to say.
Down here in Victory Lane at the Gateway Speedway here in Missouri, where the number 5 Flow Racing Chevy Camaro of Chase Johnson just picked up the victory here in the regular season finale. He's already locked in on a win, but we'll walk down here to the number 5. Chase has kind of walked us through your night here tonight. You make your way through a little bit of traffic there, but it was no competition as it kind of stays green on the back end.
Yeah, it was a good night overall. We brought another fast car to the track. I really didn't know what to expect coming into here because I've never really ran here, and I didn't really know how to race, but it raced good in my opinion. It was a fast car. The top 5 was super fast all night. So just happy we could have a good points day and continue our march into the playoffs. So yeah, fast car. Happy about it. Hopefully we got both our teammates locked into the playoffs as well.
That's the number 5 of Chase Johnson. We'll scoot down here to the number 01 Fruit City Ford Mustang of Everett Larson. Everett kind of walked us through your night here tonight. You got out there to the front, led a couple of laps there, but you weren't able to chase him down there in the end. A P2 spot for you tonight.
Yeah, overall I had a pretty good race today. I'm glad I finally got to stay up in the top 5 the whole time. And I just want to thank Food City, Quality Heat and Air, Kingsport Fitness, just all my sponsors, especially my mom and dad, for letting me buy the track. But yeah, overall I think I like this track. I'm just glad we were able to show up here today. And just want to say good win to Chase and just good racing all over.
That's the number 01 of Everett Larson. We'll scoot down here to the third place finisher of Corey Tesner, the McAfee Auto Services LLC Chevy Camaro. Corey, kind of walk us through your night here tonight below the cut line coming in. You have a great race. You were able to get out front there fast all night. Don't believe you left the top 3.
Yeah, once again, CGR brought a really, really fast car for us. Good racing all night. Led a good handful of laps. Was trying to get as many points as possible to hopefully make that cut line. Just on that last stint right there, just burned my front tires up a little too early, and then just couldn't get around Larson. Top 3 were fast all night. Good racing to everybody.
Corey Tesner will wait for his fate to see if he'll make the playoffs with a couple guys not coming to the racetrack here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll scoot down here to the P4 spot of the 99 closeout batch Camaro of Jerry Powers. Jerry, kind of walk us through your night here. The fast race car there, you were able to shoot your way up through the field in the early part of the race, but all the way back for a top 4.
Yeah, didn't do myself any favors there in qualifying. Just got super loose with my hot lap, so had to go from the back to the front. Had a moment there trying to contend up there for the lead, lap 88. I got completely sideways out of 2, almost crashed and collected myself. It's tough at a track, like this. It's hard to pass. Tires get you up pretty quickly, and, track position's the name of the game. But happy about the playoffs. Still looking for that win, but overall a good day for Rush Motorsports.
Jerry Powers will be the highest scorer here, not locked in on point. He should be able to make the playoffs with that with no problem. We'll scoot down here to the P6 finisher here tonight, the 23 Gorilla Mod Toyota Supra of John Michael. John, kind of walk us through your night here tonight. You were the last person in on points here, and you are able to outbeat Alfonso Claudio tonight here, but you have to see how the points shake out here with a great run from Corey. Kind of walk us through your night here tonight.
Yeah, didn't really know how to handle turns 1 and 2. Lost a lot of time every lap there, and just kept the tires up under, and just tried to keep her in there. Was fighting hard for the top 5 there with Jonathan and Jerry, and just didn't have the tires to hold them off, and so we hopefully just made our way in there on the points that we got to finish in 6th, and maybe Corey didn't lead enough laps to jump us up right there. We just wait to see.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the number 23 machine. Finishing 6th here tonight, John Michael Bryant. Back up to the booth here as we figure out who will make the playoffs here for Season 2.
Exactly. We will figure out here just a second, ladies and gentlemen, as I am waiting on the admin to give me the results here to pull up for you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, can we get a drum roll, please? It has been one hell of a season so far. Season 2 playoffs are now set, ladies and gentlemen. As we get ready to switch it on over, who do you think did your favorite driver make the playoffs? Who is going to the playoffs? It's going to be bang, 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 bang. Anybody in green has advanced to the playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, the top guys have advanced on wins. They have wins in their books. Anybody else made it in on points. So Alfonso Claudio not able to get it done here tonight at the Gateway International Raceway. Corey Tesner will jump from, it looks like, going to be the 14th place spot or the 15th place spot right there to the 12th place spot. Barely missed in the cut line. And it looks like everybody else in red will be eliminated here. John Michael Bryant will skin by here tonight to make the Season 2 playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. Blake Hochschild will make it as well as Jerry Powers. James Fountain with a big shot to the outside wall here tonight. But his win at the Chicagoland Speedway kept him in the playoff. This will be your 10 drivers racing 2 weeks from now at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And for the next couple races, until we get to Homestead Miami Speedway, ladies and gentlemen, we'll roll up the rest of the remaining schedule here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. After Auto Club Speedway, we will cut down from 10 drivers, and the highest scoring 4 drivers out of the 10 will race for the championship at Homestead Miami Speedway. We'll throw up the playoff drivers one more time for the fans here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. This is your Season 2 playoff drivers for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been one hell of a race here tonight. The playoffs are now officially set. Here are the final race results. Chase Johnson brings home the victory here tonight at the Gateway International Speedway for the St. Louie 120. Everett Larson will get the second place spot here tonight, followed by Corey Riptide Tesner. Jerry Powers from Park Ridge, New Jersey will bring home a top 5 spot and the 4th place spot. John Smith from Goldsboro, North Carolina will finish out the top 5. John Michael Bryant was able to skate through by the skin of his teeth to the playoffs. He'll finish in the 6th place spot here tonight. And Sean Williams will make it here tonight in the 7th place spot. Nicholas Mander will make the playoffs here tonight with a solid 8th place performance. Alfonso Claudio, not enough here tonight to defend his championship from Season 1 in the Season 2 playoffs. He'll be eliminated here tonight, finished in the 9th place spot. Blake Hochschild will make the playoffs on point. He'll get a top 10 here tonight at the Gateway Speedway, followed by Nick Crawford, Trent Hughes, James Fountain with a big shot to the outside wall there. After overcorrecting, he'll finish 70 laps down in the 13th place spot, but his win will advance him to the playoff. Big brother Kyle Fountain, Big Country from Clemson, South Carolina, filled in the field here tonight. Not happy with the way that Trent Hughes raced him. He'll right rear hook Trent Hughes into the infield and be parked for the remainder of the race. Holden Wheeler will round out tonight back into the field here as he goes hard into the outside wall. And that number 79, Chase Johnson chartered entry racing machine. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it here for the regular season for the Madness Racing League's Xfinity Series Season 2, live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll see you 2 weeks from now for the Xfinity Series playoffs at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Make sure you're right here Wednesday night for the Madness Racing League's Next Gen Cup Series live from the Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll see you then.
Wake up one day, feel like I regret things. I want my story just to have a happy ending, and I don't got a plan B. A plan A's all I need. Took the ships from the sea and burnt them all, no retreat. It's kill or get eat and get buried with the seeds, but that makes me feel free. Hella focused on my dreams. I got habits, they're established. I'm doing things a bit manic, but I can handle it. Juggle this, juggle that, struggle here, lose some cash, win and lose, make it back. You can choose your own path, nothing good comes fast, nothing fast ever lasts. So I'll be patient but attack every day like it's my last. Push the pedal to the gas, burn the fuel that I have, start a fire, light a match. I ain't never looking back. So plant hard in your feet, there's no retreat. Burn the boats on the shore till they're buried underneath. There ain't no going back. Forget the past out of desperation. Are the people born who can last? There's no retreat, but believe you got it in you. You can do anything.